Namaste. Namaste and welcome to this short practice for anyone who is not wanting to put any weight into their wrists. So this is actually a recording for a very special student, and you're all special, but you know who you are. This practice won't put any weight into the wrists, and you might see me carrying my wrists very still, and that's because my very special student has a broken wing. Okay, so let us begin with our feet nice and wide apart, a little softness in the knees. We're going to take the arms to cactus hands. So arms bent at a 45-degree angle and the hands palms facing forwards. And then here, just gently twisting a little from side to side. We're going to try to keep the hips relatively still to begin with. So you feel the twist in the upper part of the back, perhaps a little bit across the rib cage, the shoulders, maybe a little bit underneath the rib cage at the front as well. But you can let your head follow your movement. And we're beginning to warm up the body by doing this twisting across our center. It's nice and warming for the body on these colder winter days. That's great. And then we can pivot on the toes a little. So we get a bit of a sway going on with our twist. And then reaching one hand across the body. And you can reach with your palm down. Ooh, excuse me. Or you can reach with your palm out if you don't have any reason not to bend your wrists. Perhaps firming a little bit across the belly muscles for support. Allowing your head to move in a way that feels natural, so without holding your neck. And then when you're ready, you can relax the arms a little. Allow your movement to become a little smaller and a little smaller until you're back to standing steady. I like to turn my toes in, but you can keep yours out if you like. And then here, again with a little softness in the knees, rolling the shoulders. Now, if you've got one side of the body that behaves differently from the other because it's injured or because it has an old trauma, or just because we've all got a little bit of left-right imbalance, then you can do these with one shoulder at a time, and sometimes that's helpful. And certainly as we move into our bigger arm movements, that's useful. So take your right hand onto your right hip and make your left elbow a little soft, and making bigger shoulder circles with the left elbow. Bigger arm circles with the left elbow. And you can allow your torso to become part of the movement, and you can make this circle as expressive as you like. And we'll go the opposite way as well. So just building up a little bit of movement through the side of the body, the chest and the upper back. And allowing the shoulder to warm up to this more expressive movement. Now, if you are supporting a broken wing, then you might not want to put your hand on your hip. That's okay, just rest it down by your side. And then soft elbow circles with the right arm. Becoming more expressive, allowing the torso to move. The head can move as well, so the neck isn't stuck. And the opposite way too. Really enjoy that movement, that undulation that comes through the whole spine. Okay, and here in the center, let's do a little something for the neck as well. So chin towards the chest, And gently rolling the right ear to the right shoulder, chin towards the chest, left ear to left shoulder. A little bit from side to side. If this particular movement doesn't suit you, find a way to move your neck that feels good to you. If you're enjoying side to side, try a whole circle. Without taking the head back, just lifting the chin up and over. And we'll go in both directions. Whenever we're carrying an injury, we tend to suffer a little stiffness, just returning to center, in the supporting muscles of whichever limb it is. So it could be, if it's in the legs, it could be something across the back and the pelvis, but in the arms, we tend to get a little stiffness in the shoulder, the chest, the upper back, the neck, because all of these structures are connected to the place where we have our injury. So just take care to move a little every day. Move gently if you have stiffness, but moving, keep it moving. That's the key thing. Okay, so let's do some spinal undulations, like a standing cat-cow. We'll take our arms out towards the sides, softness in the knees, feet still wide. Breathing in as you open your chest, looking up, firm in the belly. And as you breathe out, rounding through the upper back, scooping the belly in, draping the hands forward, chin towards the chest. Breathing in, opening the chest as you look up, elbows behind the body perhaps. Breathing out and rounding through the spine, scooping the belly in, chin to chest. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Do two more, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Finish by breathing in to stand tall, lengthen the arms and the legs, and then just float the arms down to the side. Give your shoulders a little bit of a roll if they need a little bit of a roll, and come back to center. So here we're going to take the feet again, they're nice and wide, little softness in the knees, and then rolling the hips. And if you don't want to hold onto your hips because you've got a broken wing, that's okay. And if you do want to hold onto your hips, you can. But if you're not holding onto your hips, just leaving your arms by the side. Feels a little bit weird to do that, but that's okay. And rolling the opposite way as well. Trying to hit all four corners on the square of front, back, side, and side, but making the movement nice and continuous. Excellent. Coming back to center. Okay, let's bring our feet a little bit closer together, about hip width, maybe slightly wider than hip width apart. You're going to breathe in, reaching the arms out and up. And as you breathe out, drawing your shoulder blades down. Firm your belly and lift as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, gently swaying over to the right side. Breathing in back to center, breathing out to the left. Breathing in and up, breathing out and over, breathing in and up, breathing out and over. Breathing in back to the center, turning the palms, breathing out, floating the hands down to the side. Rolling the shoulders if you need to. Excellent stuff. Okay, so here we're going to do a little balancing pose that helps to open up the front line of the body. So I'm going to turn in this direction so I can show you the right side first. So if you stand with your feet quite close together and simply slide your right foot back behind you, a comfortable distance, so your toes are on the floor, you've still got weight into both feet. We're going to raise the right hand up so the palm is facing forward, and take the left arm out at shoulder height so the palm is facing forward as well. As you inhale, firm the left buttock and lift the belly and lift the chest, and see if you can float the right leg off the floor. Look forward, maybe even slightly up. Draw the right hand and right foot behind the body towards each other. Take a few deep breaths. Standing leg is not locked straight, a little softness in the knee. And then as you release, bringing the feet together and the arms back down to the side. Same thing on the other side. Just spending a moment feeling the difference between the two sides. And then same thing on the other side. So we're going to slide the left toes back, lift the left arm up, palm facing forward, right arm out at shoulder height, palm facing forward. And then firming the left buttock, feeling the lift into the crown of the head, right buttock even, lift into the crown of the head, and gently see if you can lift in the belly muscles, lift in the chest, and lift the left foot off the floor. Making sure your standing leg is not locked straight. You may want to move the left hand and foot towards each other behind the body a little, only if that feels good. Deep breath in. Deep breath out, and then gently sliding your foot underneath the body, relaxing the arms down to the side, taking a moment to wiggle yourself, shoulders and hips, and we'll take a lovely forward bend to release ourselves. So again, with the knees nice and soft, knees a little bit further apart than your shoulders perhaps. Breathe in as you take the arms up. And as you breathe out, lengthen from your tailbone. So you're coming forward with quite a flat back or a relatively long spine. And then as you come into your forward bend, the knees are still nice and bent. You can turn the backs of the hands to the floor, or you can hold the elbow of your broken arm, broken wing, sorry, and then just gently sway a little side to side, perhaps. Let the back of the neck be nice and relaxed. Or if your hands are nowhere near the floor, that's okay too. You just hold your hands dangling towards the floor. A little bit of swaying from side to side. And then to come up, we're going to bend the knees deeply, tuck the tailbone under, weight into the heels, round through the spine, scoop the belly in, chin to chest, rolling up one vertebra at the time. And at the top, lift the chest, lift the arms, breathing in. Turn the palms out and float the arms down as you breathe out. Very nice. Okay, chair pose. So this time with the feet around about hip width apart, slightly wider if you like, no problem at all. Closer together, I find that just encourages the knees to lean on one another. So it's better to develop the strength to do this with the knees apart. And then hands down by the side, breathing in as you stand tall, firm belly, firm buttocks, breathing out, bending your knees to wherever they naturally come to, checking that your knees haven't fallen apart or fallen together. Breathe in, reach the arms out, perhaps even up. Breathing out, settle the shoulders down. Here, you can tuck your tailbone under and then tuck your tailbone out. A little bit like a chair version of the cat-cow. We're trying to find the two extremes of tucking under, tucking out that feel comfortable for our body. And then we're going to settle for neutral in the middle. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. If it becomes too much to hold the arms up over the head, it's okay to reach the arms out to the side. Bring the hands together in prayer if you have no problem with a broken wing, or even arms down by the sides if you prefer. We'll hold for one more deep breath in. Deep breath out. And then inhale, stretching arms and legs, and exhale as you release the arms down to the side. Very good. Now we're going to do a similar thing, but with a rotation as well. So for this, I will face forward. So we're doing a twisted chair pose. So feet stay in exactly the same position, rolling the shoulder blades towards each other, maybe even rolling the palms forward, opening the chest as we breathe in, and as you breathe out, bending your knees just to sit down a little. Weight into your heels. Breathe in, reaching your arms up, firm belly, firm buttocks. And as you breathe out, perhaps bending the knees a little deeper, keeping that neutral spine. Breathing in here, and as you breathe out, twist to the right, take the left arm to the right leg and the right arm behind you. Breathe in back to the center. Breathing out, twisting to the opposite side. Breathing in back to the center. Breathing out as you twist. Breathing in back to the center. Breathing out as you twist. Breathing in back to center. Breathe out, just hold. And then breathe in, press through the legs to stand tall, open the chest. Breathing out, float the arms down to the side. Give yourself a little bit of a wiggle. And if you need to, you can shake out your legs a little too. Awesome sauce. Okay, so it's quite nice to do some postures with the parts of the body that feel strong when we have an injury. And that means often standing when we've got arms that arms, wrists, hands, shoulders that aren't feeling at their best. Let's do a little standing series here. We're going to combine the forward bend with our chair pose, and perhaps with a little balance, and perhaps with a little warrior pose as well. So at the top of your mat, or at the top of your yoga space, standing tall in Tadasana, turning the palms forward, lengthening through the crown of the head. Here, we're going to breathe in, reach the arms forward, and look up as you reach the arms up. Breathing out, keep looking up as you reach the arms down by the sides. And then rolling the chin towards the chest, we're going to bend the knees and roll forward into a forward bend. And here we're going to reach the arms behind us, lengthening a little bit into the shoulders, drawing the shoulder blades towards each other. You can clasp the hands if you have no problem with your wrists at the moment. And then we're going to bend the knees as we sweep the hands down and sit into a deep chair pose, looking slightly ahead of our mats. From here, we're going to press into the left leg, free the right foot from the floor, bring the right knee and the left elbow towards each other in a twisted dancer pose. From here, we're going to move into warrior three. So letting that right leg swing behind us as we reach the hands forward, hinging forward from the hips, little softness in the standing leg. From here, we're going to place the back foot down and come into warrior two. So warrior two, the hips are more towards the long end of the mat rather than the short end of the mat, but it's really important not to force them around, okay? Front knee is bent, back leg is long, and focus on the stability, particularly in the outside edge and heel of the back foot. As you inhale, turn to the long side of the mat, reach your arms up over your head, and as you exhale, turn to the short side of your mat, reach your arms wide, gaze across the fingertips of your left hand. Inhaling up, front leg extends, exhaling down, front knee bends, press into the back heel. Inhaling up, exhaling down. I think we can do one more. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Here, we do a little backwards and forwards. Inhale, lift the front arm up, the back hand down. Exhaling over, lift the front arm across the body and the back arm forward. Inhaling, open arms, lifting the front arm up. Exhaling, sweep that hand across the belly and leaning towards the front leg. One more like this, inhaling and exhaling. And then we'll come back to warrior two, inhaling. We're going to exhale as we turn. Inhale to warrior three. Exhale as we bend the knees. Inhale in twisted dancer pose. Exhale as we come into chair pose. And then inhale to stand tall. And exhale the arms down to the side. Do the whole thing again on the opposite side. And I'm going to turn to the opposite end of my mat so that I can face you. You can do the same if you like. Okay, so standing tall in Tadasana, rolling the palms forwards, lengthening through the crown of the head. Inhale, taking the arms forward. Opening the chest, And as you exhale, keep looking up towards the ceiling, opening that space under the throat. Inhaling chin to chest and bending the knees as you roll forward into your forward bend. And then exhaling as you reach the arms behind the body, draw the shoulder blades and the palms towards each other. Inhaling, bend the knees, sit into a deep chair pose. And then exhaling, taking the weight onto the right foot, bending the left knee and twisting to the left, drawing the right elbow towards the left knee. Inhaling, coming into warrior three. Find a point of focus, swinging that left leg behind you, reach the fingertips away. Exhale, coming into warrior two, stepping back onto that left foot, bending the front knee. Let's do our pulses here. Inhaling, arms coming towards each other over the head, and exhaling, bending the front knee, press into that back heel, look across the right hand. Inhaling, turning to the long side of the mat to look up. Exhaling, bending the front knee and opening the arms wide. Inhaling, lengthening the front leg. Exhaling, bending the front knee. Last one, inhaling and exhaling. Then here are reverse warriors. Inhale, reaching down with the left hand, up with the right hand. Exhale, reach the right hand across the body, reach forward with the left hand. Inhaling up, firm belly, firm buttocks. Exhaling over. Inhaling up and exhaling over. Inhaling back to warrior three. Exhale as you gently turn to the front. We're going to step into warrior two. Inhale, reaching the arms forward and the left leg up. Exhaling, bending the knee. Inhaling as you turn into twisted dancer, left knee to right elbow. Exhaling as you place that foot down on the floor. Inhaling into chair pose. Exhaling here, why not? And then inhale to stand tall. And exhale the arms down to the side. I think I muddled the breathing on that last bit, but not to worry. We got there in the end. Keeping breathing is the important thing. When you're finished, just giving yourself a little bit of a wiggle, a little bit of a shake. Anything that needs wiggling can be wiggled here. And then we're going to come down to lying on the back. Now, if you would like to, you could take a supported fish pose at this point. And I suggest that using a rolled up blanket or a bolster is quite useful. So I'm going to take a bolster to be handy for this part of the class, but coming down onto the mat in any way that feels good to you. And just relaxing down onto the back, letting the arms relax out to the side. So you feel the shoulders relax. Knees are bent. And here we can gently sway the knees from side to side. We're not trying to get anywhere in particular, we're just trying to release any tension from across the pelvis. Maybe promote a little bit of strength across the abdomen, a length across the hip flexors. And then coming back to center. Here we're going to bring the feet a little closer towards the buttocks if you would like to. Elbows down by the sides with the palms facing across the body. Press the back of the shoulders, upper arms and feet down, gently down with the back of the head. Lift the hips as you engage the buttocks. And then gently releasing the hips down to the floor. We'll do that a few times. Inhaling as you release up, firm in the shoulders and feet, gentle in the back of the head. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. This time coming up and giving it a bit of a wiggle. So inhaling up and then making hula hooping with your hips as you hold bridge pose. And we'll go the opposite way as well. You can keep pressing down into the back of the shoulders, coming back to center and releasing all the way down. Then here we're going to let the arms relax out to the sides. Just take the feet slightly further away from you and sway the knees a little deeper this time to either side. Now, if you'd like to, you can hold a twist here. So next time that your knees come down on your right side, you just leave them where they are. Let the arms be nice and wide as well. Here, if you want to, you can slide your left arm up towards the left side of your head. And if that feels good, you might press the inner left thigh and left foot towards the floor. And if that feels good, you can try balancing or releasing your right foot onto the left thigh for a little bit of extra weight. For a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Then releasing the legs if they're crossed, releasing the arm back to shoulder height, bringing the knees back to center. A gentle sway to either side just to release any tension, make sure we're realigning. And then allow the knees to come down to the left. If that feels good, you can slide your right arm up alongside your right ear, particularly if that leaves the hand supported by the floor, the back of the hand, the wrist, the elbow. Encourage the inner right thigh and right foot towards the floor. And if that feels good, you can rest your left foot on top of your right thigh just to help a little bit there with the length across the hip. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it, because all you'll do is twist your knees in a not nice way. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Then uncrossing the legs, sliding your arm back to center, bringing the knees back to center. Again, making any movements that feel good. We can bend the knees into the chest and give them a little gentle sway from side to side. We don't need to hold our legs to do this. We can do it all with our belly muscles. You can make your knees go in separate directions. And you can make them circle in the opposite direction too. And that should feel like a nice massage on the spine. We're gently going to roll up, either roll forwards up or roll to one side to come up into sitting. And there are so many things that we can do in our yoga practice when we're taking care of one limb, particularly if it's a hand or an arm rather. So here, with a rolled up blanket or some cushions or a bolster for support, get yourself sat against it so that it meets your low back, and then recline over it so the head is supported as well. If it feels a little bit low down for your head, then you can use a block or something underneath the head end of your support to prop it up a little bit, which might feel a bit more comfortable. We can start with the knees bent and the feet on the floor, but the arms relaxing out to the sides. And here we want the arms to be supported by the floor. So if you're short in the arms and your support's very tall, you might want a cushion underneath the elbows or the forearms or the backs of the hands to support them, so they feel like they're connected to something, and it helps them to release a little bit better. And then once you're in this is a reclining passive back bend, then you can decide what to do with your legs. Perhaps you want to leave your knees bent with your feet on the floor. You can take your feet wide and lean your knees together. That suits some people. And it's a little gentle passive stretch on the outside of the hips there as well. Or you can extend your legs long and wide, so a bit like Shavasana. Or if you feel really open and you are enjoying that sensation, you can bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees come out to the side. Now, That doesn't suit knees if they're just left suspended in mid-air for most people. So if you want a cushion underneath each thigh, just to give a little bit of that support and contact, that can really help too. You don't need to do that if you're more comfortable in one of the other positions. Wherever you are, just settling the body. Allowing a real releasing of any tension or holding or effort in the face and forehead, the jaw and tongue, the shoulders and chest, the arms and elbows and fingers. Feel the upper back, middle back and lower back all surrendering into your support. Allow a sense of openness across the underneath of the rib cage, the diaphragm, the abdomen, and into the front of the pelvis, relaxing the buttocks, the hip flexors, the legs, knees, ankles, feet and toes. Find a long, deep breath, and if you feel comfortable, you can even use a Ujjayi breath here. The point of this posture is to let go. Surrender the sides of the body, the shoulders, the arms. Open the heart. And you can stay here for as long as you feel comfortable doing that. Maybe even 5 minutes, longer if you prefer. When you're ready to move, you simply bring your feet back in, whether their knees are wide or long, legs are long. Roll to one side, usually towards your broken wing side, and then remove your support as subtly as you can before coming back onto your back. And here, if you've relaxed in your passive opening for 5 minutes, you don't need to do an extra relaxation. But what you do need to do is just allow the body to find its more neutral shape again. So perhaps 5 or so deep breaths. You can wave the nose from side to side if that feels comfortable, releasing the neck. Just checking that you are feeling relaxed. And then when you're ready, you can gently again roll towards your injured side if you're injured, any side if you're not, and press up into any comfortable seated position. I hope you enjoyed this practice. I hope it was useful, and I will see you again for another practice soon. Namaste.